Can we, take the roll call? And do we,
Teresa Cole. David Cooper.
Present.
Christopher Clark. President. Michael King.
here,
Present.
Dave Lagana.
Here.
Jim Yates.
do we have anybody attending by Zoom by chance? Not that we know of. Okay, good evening and welcome to the April April 5th meeting of the Mount Lebanon Traffic. Thank God somebody knows. The traffic board is an advisory board.
Teresa Cole. Roll call. Can you hear us? Teresa, can you hear us?
Sounds like she can't.
Hello?
You got us, Teresa?
Do you hear us?
Can you guys turn the volume up? I can't hear. Thank you.
You hear us now?
Can you hear me?
Excellent. Thank you.
Teresa's here for roll call.
So let's start again. Good evening and welcome to the April 5th meeting of the Mount Lebanon Traffic Board. The Traffic Board is an advisory board to the Mount Lebanon Commission. The duties of the board is as follows. Make recommendations to the commission to improve traffic conditions. Receives and investigates citizen requests pertaining to traffic and parking. Recommends to the commission and manager the means to improve the administration and enforcement of traffic laws. Reviews traffic regulations and controls. Works with the traffic consultant in preparation of traffic studies. To assist with the board with our recommendations of the municipal traffic engineer, tonight it's Kyle Brown of Gateway Engineers and Lieutenant Scott Green, Mount Lebanon Police Department Traffic Services Unit. The traffic board may only recommend action to the Mount Lebanon Commission and municipal manager. The board does not have the ability to approve requests related to traffic. Residents who wish to have a discussion item placed on the agenda for consideration by the board should submit the request in writing at least 1 week prior to the meeting to Lieutenant Scott Green with a brief description of the issue or request and should attend the meeting that the issue will be discussed. Citizens' comments will be taken following the introduction of each agenda item. If you wish to speak on a particular item, please come to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. You will be provided 5 minutes to provide your comments. If a group of residents wish to speak on one particular agenda item, you may appoint a spokesperson if you so choose. If your comment or concern has been addressed by another speaker, you may simply come to the microphone, state your name and address, and indicate you are in agreement with that resident's comments. Each resident should be provided one opportunity to provide comments on each issue. If you are participating via Zoom and would like to comment, please click the raise hand button. You will be given 5 minutes to provide your comments. All comments or questions should be directed to the chairperson. The chairperson will request that the traffic engineer or Mr. Brown to provide the response when appropriate. Recommendation for agenda items appearing under new business will be limited to further investigation and or data collection and placement on a future agenda once the requested investigation and or data collection is complete. The municipality has adopted traffic calming policies. This policy and a related frequently asked question companion document are available at mountlebanon.org. Okay. Can we review the meeting minutes from March 1st? All in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. All against? Minutes passed. Okay, old business. Request for Washington Road to be ADA compliant. Is there somebody here to speak on that? No?
Yes, so the, Green Light Go grant application to add the Vibrant Accolade APS pedestrian systems to the Washington Avenue corridor was submitted in, Washington Road corridor was submitted in January. No word on the announcement for those. It's usually a few months as they assess all of the applications, so no new update on that.
Anybody have any questions? Request for ADA ramp on Washington Road and McFarland Road.
Reached out to PennDOT, trying to speak with their ADA committee to figure out what had happened on this one and why that corner was left off. Had a few emails here this week to follow up, but no response yet from PennDOT.
So this will be on the agenda for next month if we have update. Any questions? Request, new, old business request for left turn arrow at Washington Road at Woodhaven Road, going towards Pittsburgh from the Galleria.
So, we were authorized to collect data out there. However, there's been construction such that the road's closed, so we have not been able to collect that data to assess that.
When, do you know when the road's gonna be reopened and what we can assess?
They have us hired, I think, for the next 3 weeks to a month. They're doing a pipeline all the way around the loop.
So by the time that's done, we're gonna be in past, school's gonna be out.
The school might be back in by the time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit.
so that's, we can't collect data.
I do have a question on this one. The placement of this would be on Washington Road turning into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So does the fact that it's closed, that's why it's not able to be studied at this point?
We would need to collect data at the intersection during its normal operations to determine whether it would be feasible and permissible.
And this one has actually been on the agenda for a year. It probably came up during the pandemic initially, right? So we've not been able to collect data necessary to authorize or not authorize, because it's a number-driven determination.
Apologies for me being new and diving too far down, so please cut me off if this is too much. This being on Washington Road, are we able to make those changes? That's not a PennDOT corridor.
So that's the reason for the data collection, is to show them the justification of whether it can or can't.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
Would it require a new signal head?
It would require a new signal head such that that arrow could be presented, yes.
Just curious, has there ever been consideration to eliminating the Longview intersection? And, you know, in order to route everything through, I mean, it would eliminate a phase at the traffic signal.
Lieutenant Green, do you want?
Are you ready for the lunch, brother?
Excuse me, I'm assuming to be able to make the left with the arrow and the long view also.
It would work for that approach as a whole.
Okay, because the stop
The
line
stop
is
works.
right before long.
Yeah,
view,
so
right?
it's
So they can make a left into either street.
right.
Any other questions? Okay, new business. Coolidge speed hump and stop sign at the intersection with Ray. There's somebody here to speak to this.
Evening, my name is David Mills. I live at 452 Cloakley. And the intersection at Coolidge and Ray, I'm looking for some sort of traffic control. We have a lot of people just coming directly through the intersection, a lot of delivery trucks that when they're coming down Coolidge, they're actually swinging wide into the opposing lane, which neighbors and I will sit there and listen to people just slam on brakes. We have, I don't know, 150 kids playing in that neighborhood. And it's becoming to the point that it's dangerous for everybody that is surrounding that area. I don't know if there is, you know, stop signs, any other ways to remediate the issue of people coming through that intersection and, you know, potentially crashing. But anything we could do to solve the problem would be greatly appreciated.
Your property abuts Coolidge?
Yeah, so I'm Coolidge and Cloakley. My property goes through both sides of the road. And the 3 adjoining neighbors going down to the other intersecting street also as well. And we're all watching the same thing happen. I've been talking to a lot of the parents that are on Coolidge as well. A lot of them can't be here because they were on vacation because it is a short week. And everybody decided to leave, so that's why I'm here.
Is the issue Coolidge or the intersection?
It's Coolidge and that intersection right there. It's kind of a combined issue.
It's a T.
Yeah.
It runs perpendicular.
Yeah, and what we're seeing later at night is it seems to be a cut through. Early in the morning, it seems to be cut through. Everybody's trying to surpass Bower Hill. So they're taking this as a route to, get off of Washington, get over to Bower Hill. And in the morning, it is just frighteningly dangerous.
So what are you suggesting? Like, where do you want?
Ideally, a three-way stop for Ray and Coolidge. Which,
Kyle? You want to address the issue of what would need to happen either, well, for speed humps, that comes under traffic calming in Mount Lebanon, so there's
Yeah.
a policy, so you would actually need to get a petition of people on Coolidge who are gonna be affected by that. I think it's 20 or 25 houses. 20.
There are 25 houses there.
Or then everybody, I guess everybody on the street, saying they'd like traffic calming, and then a study will be done to determine the amount of traffic and whether traffic calming is appropriate. It's pretty hard to get. You would need, it's either due to speed or volume generally. You probably don't meet either requirement, but it can be looked at, so a petition would be the first way. As far as whether you can put stop signs, I believe that's state regulated and also a numbers issue.
Correct, yeah, so that would be based upon, specific warrants based upon crash.
okay, what's the requirement for sight distance?
It depends upon the grades and speed out there, so.
So-
You can park in my driveway and get the graded speed.
So I think what we'll do is have Gateway, for the next meeting, what Gateway will do is a preliminary review.
Yeah, we would typically start with the set of distance, that's probably the easiest, the low hanging fruit is to look at those thresholds, and if that's not met, but while we're up there, we see having that volume.
Okay. Criteria. Yeah, one of the issues we come in is coming down the hill on Coolidge and people coming up Ray is they can't see each other. Nobody stops and they just both go straight through at the same time and everyone swerves at that point.
Yeah, so I know there's no traffic control out there at all, nobody has a stop sign, so the criteria is for an always stop. If it was to put a stop sign on Ray, only as the T of the T intersection, that doesn't require any sort of thresholds, that's just
Okay.
normal traffic control, but for an always stop, that's where you have to put this.
All right. Understandable.
Unfortunately, I think that the bigger issue is people coming down Coolidge, coming up Ray, it's like people generally are very slow coming up that because there is a steep grade there.
Oh, it's both directions. So they're like, you can actually hear the cars accelerating coming down both hills because that's a bit of a valley there. Yeah, down the hills and shooting up the other side. Talking to the neighbors, it's like, hey, we'll get 10,000 cones, and put them out there if we have to, anything to kind of control this area a little bit better.
These are basically people that are cutting through to miss the traffic.
Yeah. And it's.
So they have to make a left out of Coolidge to go on the Bower Hill Road in the morning then.
Yeah,
I don't know, nobody's been around as long as I have here with this department, but there was one point, there was no left turn sign. at Coolidge, Clokey, Mapleton, Marietta, they had put them all up. I have no idea why they all went down. There's none up now, right? I mean, that would at least alleviate in the morning, but I don't know about the afternoon. You'd have to find some other way to.
And every left turn off of Bower Hill, that light gets backed up in morning and evening rush.
Yeah.
So it's.
Oh, I know.
Coolidge, Marlin, Mapleton, they all are just cut throughs over to cut over Cochran on the other end.
that's a lot of fun.
Mapleton does have a speed hump on it that is installed with
Right.
multiple.
I remember that.
And at least Marlin has a stop sign at Ray. whereas Coolidge does not.
So whatever the next steps are, I'll happily come to the next meeting. If I need to get a petition, more than happy to do that.
For speed humps-
You say they used to have stop signs out there? I'm sorry, the gentleman that said that you lived there for a while. I didn't hear what you said. They used to have what there?
They used to have no left turns.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, thank you. That's right. Yep. Okay, thank you.
Is it possible to research why they were removed or when they were there or use their records for that?
Just follow all the signs and how where they are and all that stuff. Like when we were doing the other thing,
Right.
the traffic dynamic says what signs are where, there's no parking from here to corner.
Yeah, if you could take a look and, because they might have been approved and removed for some reason and nobody just put them back up.
You have to remember that nobody asked the police department back then to put them up. And nobody asked the police department to quit taking them too, so good luck on finding the information on that.
A little bit of hacksaw goes a long way.
Yeah.
So for the speed humps, you go online and review the traffic calming policy. They'll tell you the process for getting the petition and submitting it and collecting data. It's a very difficult process. They're getting up and down. Yeah, okay. And then, Gateway Engineers will be out there collecting data at some point during the next month, to get an idea of what's going on and have some sort of report for us.
Much appreciated. You want to sit in the driveway and just, radar people, feel free. Back in, they won't see it all. All right, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other matters from the floor? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make that motion.
Second. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
I've been, I've met you before. I'm sorry, yeah, you before you, many times.